Okay, we're live now. Hello, no one's on yet, but I'll go ahead and say hello. I'm Brandon Elrich with Brandon Elrich is So Gay. And I am joined by audio with Fusen Iden.
Correct. Spot
Did
on.
I get it?
Yeah, spot on. 100%.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Spot on. Wow, I can't get better than that.
full marks.
So I went on a Midwest Pride tour. Basically, I mean, it was the month of June, of course, because in America, at least, our Pride is focused on occurring in June.
Mhm.
I don't know what it is for a lot of other areas. What is it for you, Fusen?
It's usually June, but I'm actually going to the UK in a couple of weeks to a Pride festival that's in August, which is quite odd, but they have like a whole festival and Mariah Carey's playing and stuff.
Hi, Carrie.
Yeah, Mariah Carey.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, it should be.
We do have. There's one in Missouri that's happening in Columbia, Missouri. They're having theirs in October 4th, I believe.
Cool.
And yeah, that's usually I've been to theirs the last 2 years. It's a college town, and so I think that's part of the reason they have it in the fall. So after the kids, the students get back from their summer break or whatever, they start school again. It's
I was
gives
to
them
stop
a
the kids from going.
no. I'm saying like during the summer, most college kids go back home if they don't live in the area, if they just live in the dorms. So they would go back home and the town would be a lot emptier, I guess, and so there wouldn't be as much of a crowd.
Oh,
So
okay.
my guess is they have my 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 echo went off. I guess she thought I said her name. Anyway, that was odd.
So
Um,
funny.
I that happens a lot. Sometimes I'll say something that sounds like Alexa, which is the name of my Amazon Echo, and it'll trigger her to try to answer whatever I was saying. Anyway, um, no, but the Columbia has theirs during the fall because the students are back in town, and that would help create a bigger crowd and whatnot. That's my guess is um why they do it then.
Strategic.
Oh,
That's good.
somebody in the chat says Big Brother's listening. Oh yeah. She
Always.
said, "You ready, Grandma?" Yeah, she says rename it. Yeah, I mean, I could, I suppose, but there's probably I don't know. There's no matter what you rename it, you'll probably say something that sounds like the name and it'll go off. You know what I mean? It's
Yes.
I don't know. It's not that big of a deal to me. It's like okay, it's kind of funny sometimes when it just randomly starts trying to tell me things or trying to answer a question that I didn't ask.
Yeah, Siri does that all the time. Like, if I just
Oh
say
yeah,
something that sounds like that word, because I'm not going to say it because I don't want to get frozen off alive. Like, it's
yeah,
it does that all the time. Like, it will just go up and I'll be listening to something and it will just throw me out of sync completely.
right, yeah. Well, I haven't had it disrupt because it's not on my phone.
Mm.
So I don't have it turned on my phone, which is probably a good thing. I don't even want to I don't even want to start that. But I think my main voice is Google on there or Gemini or whatever. So
That's
hopefully that
sweet.
doesn't trigger anything. Yeah. Well, nothing happened, so I guess I'm good.
Oh,
So
great.
anyway, yeah, we were talking a little bit about Pride. My I went on a Midwest Pride tour during the month of June, and I went to Kansas City, Missouri, first weekend. Um, I don't know if you were watching, if you were in the Daily whatever that day, but they they invited me on while I was at the parade, and I showed them part of the parade, and it started pouring down rain, and
Yeah.
but yeah, it was interesting. It was very warm, so it wasn't a big deal. I had I had a mesh top and shorts, so there wasn't a whole lot to get wet.
Yeah, those are
Didn't
cool
have
people selling umbrellas, right? Or handing out umbrellas, if I remember.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I remember
It
that.
was pretty cool.
It was a washout.
Yeah, it well they kept the parade going.
Hello?
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me? Are you still there? Oh, it says
Now.
Fusen's. Oh, yeah, it says your internet connection is unstable.
Oh, yeah, yeah, no, I'm back. I think it's working
Okay.
now.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Oh no, it's fine. I was saying yeah, they kept the parade going even through the rain, and I was able to get under the awning of a cafe right near the street, so I was still able to watch the parade and not get too soaked, at least not mess up my phone or whatever.
Was there lots of
But
people doing it, like on the parade? Was there floats and stuff?
yeah, yeah, it was. They For a long time they didn't even have a parade. The first time I went to Kansas City was in 2019, and it was well when I went, it was my first experience at any Pride, so I didn't have anything to compare it to. But it was after I went to other places, I realized it was a bit small. But then, then 2020 came along with COVID, and that shut everything down. Nobody was having any large Pride gatherings or whatever.
Of course, yeah.
But then,
Is it? Yeah,
then a couple years later, when they started it back up again. It was much bigger, and they had the parade. I think actually this year was the first time I had been to the parade, and I was surprised by how many people were in it. Um, I thought it was good,
I
and then
suppose like I suppose like for somewhere like Kansas City, like I don't pretend I know it very well. Like
right,
it's it's like from what I understand, it's like a quite it's in quite a conservative state, right? Like semi-conservative.
yeah. For a long time, it was kind of pretty much right down the middle because they would our state would it was called what's known as a bellwether state.
Okay.
So it would if whatever candidate Missouri chose as the president would end up being the president. You know what I mean? There were a few states that were kind of like that. That kind were almost predictors of who would be elected president. And then
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
that changed when I think it was maybe Barack Obama. I believe when he won the presidency, Missouri had chosen the other candidate, and so that from then on, from then till now, it's been more of a red state, more conservative red state.
I see. Yeah. So
So
it's
overall,
good.
yeah, overall, it's more conservative. it's there's a lot of rural areas in Missouri, and but Kansas City is a bigger city. It's I don't know if it's the biggest between that and St. Louis. I believe Kansas City is technically larger than St. Louis as far as population, or maybe it's the area. I can't remember. But anyway,
Mm.
between those two, it's one of the biggest cities in Missouri. So there is some uh, liberal uh, elements to it.
Mm.
There's some there are a couple of there are gay bars, drag bars. So it has its liberal areas.
It's cool. It's good to see it though. Like it's good to see like even in like red states these things can still happen. Like for now, you know?
Right. Yeah, right. For now, at least. Yeah, there are pockets that are more liberal or open-minded, I guess.
Yeah. Turkey's the same, you know, like Turkey has it has like one city that's particularly liberal and like
Oh, okay.
but even now, like recently in I think this year, they even banned their Pride parade.
Oh,
And I'm like, wow. I was kind of shocked when that happened. But yeah, like keep like you guys should definitely keep doing it, like as much as you can, even if they say don't do it. Did you see that Pride parade in Budapest?
no.
So in Hungary, they like banned Pride, and then there was like on the day of Pride, there was like 1,000, like 5,000 people or something went like did their own parade.
Okay.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
So,
Well,
what was your favorite one?
you know, I really haven't thought about that yet. Um, I liked different ones for different reasons, but uh, I always like the city of St. Louis.
Huh?
Um, I don't know. I think it's a cool city and everything. I went down to uh, Ozarks Pride Fest, which was in Springfield, Missouri. It's even more rural, but it there was a great turnout. It was smaller, but sometimes I kind of like the smaller venues. It just seems I don't know cozier,
Intimate, yeah.
more yeah, more intimate. Yeah. So I did kind of like that one. It was in a cool area. It was downtown in a square, and they had a stage for the drag shows, and they had a drag story hour, and they had a decent amount of vendors, and um, the parade was good. I enjoyed that one. I had never been there before, so that was a new experience. I liked that. Topeka, I went to Topeka, Kansas, and that was that was the smallest one that I've been to this year. So I kind of liked the area, but there just wasn't a whole lot there. So
Mhm.
I probably wouldn't put that as my favorite, but I always like St. Louis, and I really like the intimate gathering of the Ozarks Pride Fest. So I guess it'd have to be between those two. And it's kind of odd because St. Louis is the largest one that I've been to, and Ozarks is one of the smallest. So I like both of them for different reasons.
That's cool. It's so cool.
What's your experience been at different Pride Fests?
So, my favorite Pride is the one I'm going to this year, which I try to go to as much as I can. Um, and that's in a town called Brighton in England.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I've heard of it.
and it's Brighton is kind of like, I don't think it's officially the queer capital of England, but it's definitely like second. Like it's either first or second. Um, it's it's ridiculously queer. Like it's the point of like absurdity. Um, but they always have a really, really good parade. And I happened to go there once by chance. One of my close friends lives there now, and he invited me one year. And it's like when I was living in Amsterdam, it's like an hour flight, a 45-minute flight. It's really not that long at all.
Oh yeah.
And I went for the weekend, and it's like it's not like a 1 day pride; it's a 2 day pride. So it carries on over into the next day.
Hmm.
And it's like a festival, and there's music. It's not free. Like the music festival isn't free and stuff. It costs money. But I went. Um, I went for the first time. I was just blown away. Like Amsterdam has a good like pride parade, and it's fun. But like
Hmm.
I was blown away just by how diverse it was. Like you had the right mixture of guys in thongs and also like charity organizations and non-profits. And it felt sleazy but educationally sleazy and fun all at once. Like, and they got the right balance of it. I do think the only drawback is that like I think pride parades have become a very like profit driven venture. Like these days,
Right.
it's less about um it feels a lot less these days about actually being queer than more about making money. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
which if there was ever a time in Pride's history that it needs to be more about queer people, it's now. You know,
Right.
but yeah, Brighton Parade is super fun. Like people are always nice. For English people, they're always nice, and um, yeah, that's my favorite parade. Like I'm really looking forward to it. Maybe I'm looking forward to seeing Mariah Carey.
Right. And did you say that was in November, October, November,
August, sorry.
August? Oh, yeah.
August, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. August 3rd. Yeah, it's August the 3rd.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
but do they have in America, do they have trans pride as like a separate entity? Like,
Not that I've ever heard. No. I mean, if they do, I'm not aware of it. If and it's not very well publicized, at least. I
yeah.
I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, because like I've noticed in some European countries they have like gay pride and then trans pride.
Okay.
And I'm like, it doesn't seem very unified to me.
Yeah, I think especially well in in lots of countries, the trans community is more discriminated against,
Mm.
and I I think it seems like it would be better to have uh, more of a community, like more to have them together. But I don't know. What's your thought on that? Do you agree that they should be separate?
No, I think with the current political climate, I think LGBTQ plus IA, like the all of those letters in the acronym, I think
Hmm.
we should all be marching on under a unified banner, all of us, like
Right.
because we're all queer people.
Yeah.
And I think as it stands now, I think there should be more emphasis on the trans participation in Pride, like just now at this time, because it's our turn on the scapegoat conveyor belt. So like
Yeah,
while we're in that position, I think there has to be more um focus on trans issues as a whole, which some queer people actually despise. They can't stand trans people. Like there's this whole thing about, LGB and that's it. There's no other letter in, and it's like,
yeah,
yeah, those people don't even fucking matter. Like, but it's like, yeah, I would prefer to see like all of us together. I'd prefer to see like my ultimate dream is to see a pride parade somewhere in, like, I would say like New York, like Stonewall or somewhere like that, which is like almost the Olympic Games of Pride in terms of international participation. Just
yeah,
queer people from all over the world, like together, like and invited to go and say like, you know the Stonewall organization?
yeah,
Yeah, like I would really love for them to do like a fundraiser to invite people from, provided they're out, from
yeah,
like oppressed countries to go to something like that. That would be my dream. Like if I had the money, I would like finance it myself.
yeah, yeah. I agree. I think the community should be more unified and not look for ways to separate ourselves. I mean, I can understand some people wanting that to kind of celebrate their uniqueness. Maybe they don't want to be lumped in with a bunch of other people, but you've got to, like you said, you've got to look at the political climate and what's going on around you and realize that you need the support right now. But
Mm.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
that's no, that's true. Like I feel like of course we can have individual elements, but not at the expense of anybody. That's
Right.
like, as long as you're um as long as you're not doing it like to exclude people, like then
Yeah.
that's fine. That's fine, I guess. Like that's fine. I just think that, like as you said, and as I've said, like the political climate dictates right now that we have to be more um unified. It's like if we're separated, Brandon, like it's just easy for them to overcome us and conquer us and destroy us.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
I think that's true of any group. Once you create division among the group, it's easier to break them up.
correct. It's divide and conquer, right? That's,
Right.
and that's what they've done. They're doing it with the trans issues. Like there's a whole bigger picture there about like, um, you say like, because like for a start, like those people, like the conservatives, the right wing, the far right, they hate queer people full stop. Like trans, gays, lesbians, they hate them full stop, right? But
Yeah.
what they need to do to eradicate it is make a ghost out of something, like a ghoul out of somebody. Like for example, the drag queens reading to kids.
Right.
They're trying to portray that they're not doing it from the good of their heart. They're doing it for nefarious reasons. It's untrue.
Yeah.
But once you make that claim and you put that like seed into the psyche of society, it's so much easier for you to be like, these people are deviants and we need to get rid of them. Like so
Right.
much easier. So it's divide and conquer, and like you can't do it with all of the community, so you just pick on one part and then watch the community distance themselves from that part. If that makes sense.
Right. Yeah. There was in one of our local Pride Fest for the last couple of years. It was a small community, small town, small community, and they advertised a drag show. And there was a group of conservative people who got together and went to a town council, town meeting, and wanted to petition to stop the drag show because well, they claimed that it was geared toward children, and they were trying to, indoctrinate children, whatnot. The drag show was advertised as family friendly. They turned that around, kind of twisted that wordage, the verbiage of that, and tried to say that it was geared toward children when really what they went on to the hosts of the drag show were saying it's a place for um, children and their parents to come, you know, and when they weren't able to get it stopped, which was great. And when the Pride Fest actually happened, there were protesters, people with signs out by the entrance of the parking lot, and they were holding up signs that said things like "protecting your children." I'm not. I don't know. I mean, those people, obviously, their children weren't going to be attending the drag show. They were going to make sure of that. But so obviously, they were trying to parent other people's children. We're protecting your children. We're doing this, which was
Exactly.
untrue. Also, I mean, like you were saying, it's not true what they were claiming. Their reasoning behind it. They don't. They're not really caring about other people's children. They're
I
just,
don't give a fuck. They don't care, man.
yeah,
Like, they just don't care. They're like, they're
no,
just these, they're just like, you ask them to name one drag queen, right, that's been convicted of harming a child, right?
right,
They won't be able to tell you. But I could probably tell you within a minute five religious pastors who have been
right,
arrested for abusing a child, right?
yeah,
Like, like honestly, they ought to look a bit closer to home if they're concerned about children, right?
right, yes,
That's the craziest thing. Like,
yeah. Look
they're
within their own community, in their own group.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. The like look at like look at the president that you're in love with, who's like, honestly, if I had a teenage girl, I would not leave her in a room alone with him. Not in a
yeah,
not in a million years, right? And I always and I genuinely think to myself, this is a rule of thumb. Like, would you leave your child alone with somebody? Like, and if the answer is no, then that person is likely not a good person, right? And it's
right,
like, if they can comfortably say that they would leave their teenage daughter alone in a room with Donald Trump for, like, say, an hour, like, like, and be like, yeah, no, it's totally safe, then they're fucking, like, absolutely deluded. Like, these people are the biggest. These people aren't just a threat to children; they're a threat to mankind, like, in general.
yeah.
Was there a lot of them in those festivals, the Pride festivals you went to?
Well, that was the next thing I was going to say. Actually, that I didn't see much, many protesters. Uh, the only place that I saw them was at St. Louis. I was in the Pride Fest, and I heard a megaphone, and I kind of knew what it
Mm,
was. I followed the sound, and it was someone outside of the gates across the street. He had a megaphone, and there were about, I think I counted about 7 people, something like that, and a few of them had signs. And the guy with the megaphone was quoting Bible verses, and the signs. it said something like you can't avoid going to hell or something like that, something along those lines. You know what I mean? And the Bible verses weren't weren't things like love your neighbor as yourself, or you know those types of good verses, the love verses from the Bible. They weren't focusing on those, of course. It was more
Mm.
like man shall not lie with man as with womankind, or whatever, those kinds of.
Just that bullshit that they come out with all the time, like, always makes me laugh. It's just
Yeah,
like, it's pretty, I mean, it's pretty bold for you to decide who's going to hell and who isn't, because it seems like you're trying to preempt God, which is a bit,
right.
feels a bit blasphemous to me. Like,
Well, it is. I mean, if you're in a way, it's kind of tempting God, almost like you're saying what you're making God's decisions for him. And yeah, that's blasphemous. Yes.
I'm pretty sure there's probably something in the Bible about that, like, which don't ever read. Like, you won't ask them. It's like someone asked Donald Trump what his favorite book was, and he said, the Bible, definitely the Bible, but I don't want to get into specifics.
Yeah,
Because you've never read the fucking Bible. That's
right.
why.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Crazy people, crazy ass people. But it's good that there wasn't that many there. Like,
Yeah, I was surprised actually, because Topeka, Kansas is home to the Westboro Baptist Church.
is that where they're from?
Yeah,
God,
and they're infamous for going around and picketing funerals of not only
soldiers.
soldiers, not of only of LGBTQ plus community, people in the queer community, but soldiers. And I read that they also picketed the victims of the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting, which
Same.
I don't. It doesn't. It makes no sense to me. I don't get it. But I went to the church and to see it, and across the
Hi,
street from the
Dana.
church is.
Sorry,
Oh,
Dana
hello,
just
Dana.
came.
Yes. Um, across the street from the church is the Equality House, the rainbow colored house,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and right beside it was the Mott House, the trans flag colored house. And I really expected to see uh, the members of that church to at least be protesting at the Pride Fest. They weren't there. I didn't see any protesters there. I didn't see any at Kansas City or at Ozarks or um, Nebraska. Now, the only place I saw a few of, and like I said, there were about seven at St. Louis. That was the only place. So that was good. I had kind of planned on talking to one of the protesters on my live, because I went live at each location, showed what the Pride Fest was like there, and I talked to a few of the local vendors, a couple of corporate sponsors, and showed part of drag shows. There was a roller derby at Nebraska. I videoed part of that, and just various things. Tried to get a uh, um, what do I want to say? A kind of a broad range of different things and interview different
Yeah.
people. But I kind of expected I would see protesters, and maybe I would go talk to one of them. And like I said, I didn't see any except in St. Louis, and I was inside Pride Fest, and they were across the street, and I could have left the Pride Fest and gone over there and tried to talk to them, but I just thought, that I'll just leave that alone.
Don't give them the attention.
Well,
That's
yeah, that's one thing. I went back and forth because I did think of that as one side of the argument. Like, I don't want to give them. Do I want to give them a platform, attention, and everything? But I also thought one of my reasonings for thinking about doing it was to let a lot of straight people don't know really what we come in contact with, the kind of
Mm.
hate that's aimed toward us.
Yeah.
And I kind of wanted to people to see firsthand, like I wanted to go and talk to one of these people. Why are you here? What do you hope to accomplish by being here? Why are you here protesting? What are you protesting? That kind of thing. And just see it face to face, you know? But maybe it's better that I just didn't do it at all. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. Like, there's like, I feel like in certain situations that it's good to do that. Like referencing the Westboro Baptist Church again. Like countless people have made documentaries about them, and
Hmm.
like since those documentaries have been made, like a shit ton of them have left the church because
Yeah,
I I think they probably watched it and for the first time in their lives saw how fucking insane what they were doing was. Like
right.
they were like they were picketing funerals of dead straight soldiers,
Yeah.
like who they assumed like for whatever fucked up reason that was going through their mind were gay. Like they were just like, yeah, God's punishing them. They were blown up in like Afghanistan and Iraq because God was punishing them for being gay. And I'm like, you guys, man, like you guys are fucked. But I think giving them that airtime and for the world to see them for what they were and their stupidity and their evilness and their wickedness, like even Fred Phelps had a change of heart towards the end, right? Like,
Oh, I don't know. I didn't hear. I've heard that he passed away, and after that, that they kind of mm, since then they haven't been as active. But I didn't hear about him as
he
far
got
as
ex he got excommunicated, Brandon.
okay.
They
Yeah. Well, yeah. I just read the Wikipedia about the church and about him, and close to the end of his life, I guess he it wasn't clear about why or what happened exactly or why he was whatever ousted or whatever.
maybe it was
Not
maybe it wasn't maybe it
outed.
was outed.
Well, I mean that does happen a lot.
Yeah, like you see these pastors giving hate speech and then they get caught like um sucking dick in a car, smoking meth, or that happened to somebody, but I can never remember their name. Like somebody, like one of these, um, I think he was like a, what do you call those people? What do you call those people? They were really big in the 90s in the US, and they were on TV and they were
Oh,
religious.
televangelists.
Yeah, yeah. He was one of these televangelists, and he got caught in a car with
Oh,
a rent boy.
yes. I remember that. I can't remember the name. I'm terrible with remembering names, but yeah, I know who you're talking about. I remember that.
So funny. Like I mean, it's tragic because we live in a society where like quite clearly these people are gay, right? Or bisexual or something that isn't straight, right? So um but because of the society we live in, they've been almost coerced into being the way that they they are performing. Um whether it's because their families are shit or whatever, but they're pretending, and their way of pretending that they're not queer of any kind is just to be as aggressively homophobic as possible.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
that
like
happens with people who are in charge or develop those the conversion therapy. You know,
yeah,
a
yeah,
lot of times they come out as being gay, closeted gay.
yeah. We talked about that, right? Like the other day. Like,
Yeah, I remember talking. I couldn't remember what venue it was and where it was, but yeah,
Yeah, we talked about it. Like um, there was that, like, there was, because Boy Erased.
right. Boy
Yeah,
Erased the movie, yes, because that
yeah,
was based on a true story, and I don't remember the pastor's name, but at the end of the movie, of course, they give a few blurbs of information about where they are now or whatever, and it was revealed that the the leader of that conversion therapy was now living with his partner in in Texas or something like
un
that, you know.
unreal. It's unreal. Like, I'm
Yeah.
sure they feel a lot of guilt. Like, I'm sure
Oh yeah, yeah,
they feel a shit ton of guilt, and I'm sure that they don't need to be reminded of what they done was, like, irreprehensible, right? Like, it's the conversion therapy of any kind, whether it's trans or gay, is irreprehensible. Like, it's
right.
unethical. Like, it's not illegal in the United States, no?
Well, there are still some states that have not banned it. There are states that have made it illegal, but not all.
Yeah, it should be banned across the board. It's cruel.
Yeah,
And yeah, they all turned out to be gays and lesbians, and, like, somehow, and, like, they were forced to live in be in marriages that they weren't in love with their partner and felt nothing towards their partner, and, like,
right,
everybody loses in that situation. Everybody.
right.
And yeah, I think that it's terrible, but did your family ever try and make you go through some kind of conversion practice?
No, I was an adult before I came out, and
Yeah.
um, even though it might be obvious to a lot of people that I'm gay, um, when you grow up, with your family, they they get used to how you act, how you are, or whatever. And I don't think it's as noticeable when you're so close to someone. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? It's like they're not necessarily. They may have thought, oh, he's not gay. That's just how he is. He's just
Who he is.
sensitive or whatever. Yeah, that's just how he is or whatever. And
Yeah.
plus, being in a conservative, religious household,
Mm.
it's I'm not sure it really even crossed their mind because that was wrong, and he knows that's wrong, and so there's no. He's a good boy. He wouldn't he wouldn't be that way. You know what I mean?
He's a good boy.
So yeah,
Yeah.
right. But yeah, so I don't think it really was even. I mean, I'm sure part of it was like denial. There might have been something in the back of their minds or whatever, thoughts that, oh, this is possible, maybe, or whatever. But there's that denial, especially my mother, especially likes to pretend that everything's okay. She's not one for confrontation or addressing issues head on. She would like to just pretend everything's peachy, you know, um, sweep everything under the rug, that kind of thing. So
Yeah, yeah.
even if she, even if she did think or have suspicions, she wouldn't have brought it up or confronted me with it.
Yeah, like, that's it. And, like, the obligatory, like, like, when you have a boyfriend, it's not your boyfriend, it's your friend.
Exactly.
Like that kind of burying your head in the sand, I guess, like, and pretending it isn't happening. Like, hey, I mean, like, if she's not being, like, overtly cruel to you,
Yeah.
then I'd probably just take it, because, like, it's hard to break that conditioning, right? Like, when you're I don't know, your parents are quite religious, right?
Right.
So yeah, as horrible as it sounds, what I'm about to say sounds is that like you're battling against a conviction that's quite strong, right?
Right. Exactly.
And if the worst is um someone burying their head in the sand and being like, "Oh yeah, no, everything's fine," like that's probably a good result.
Yeah. Well, I agree, and that's my plan. I mean, I had a boyfriend a few years ago, um, and he died, and
I'm so sorry.
thank you. Um, I went out to it was we for a while it was a long distance relationship, but I went out to the funeral and everything, and my mom knew, about him. I didn't talk to her about who he was to me, but she knew, but she still referred to him as my friend, you know, and in a way, it's kind of hard because it's like, I don't like, downplaying who he was to me. You know what I mean? He was,
Mm,
I would have married him, I would have spent the rest of my life with him.
yeah.
But so in a way, it just, I don't like that he was thought of as my friend. You know what I mean? I mean, he was my friend, yes, but he was much more than that.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand now. I'm sorry if what I said seemed insensitive.
Oh, no, no, not at all. No, I mean, I get a little, I mean, you can kind of tell. Every time I talk about it, and especially him passing away, I get emotional about it. But um, no, I wouldn't have, I wouldn't have even brought him home for family dinners and things if we had continued and gotten married and things. Because I'm not sure. I don't know how it would ever worked well with my family, like bringing him in as part of the family, bringing him home for
Mm,
Christmas and that kind of thing. He wouldn't have been completely welcomed, definitely not as part of the family. I mean,
mhm.
I might have been able to bring him home, and he would have been referred to as my friend, and that would have been okay. I I wouldn't try to force them to accept that. Like you said, they have very strong convictions, and I'm not going to change their viewpoint or their beliefs, and I don't have to. They don't have to be part of that part of my life. You know what I mean? I don't feel. I think it just depends on the person because I know some people would be uh, very hurt by that. They want their partner to come home with them, meet their family, and be part of it and everything. Sometimes that just can't happen. My cat wants
Yeah.
to be part of the video.
Yeah. That's okay. Is it a she or a he?
It's a he. He's actually
He,
trying to kick me out of the chair. He does this very often. He comes up and sits on my lap, and then he kind of gets beside me and kind of digs and wants to kick me out of the chair.
yeah, it's the territorial, right?
I
Like,
guess so. I don't. I mean, there are other places to sit. They're maybe even more comfortable than this, but no, he just no. I'm not moving this time. A lot of times I do move for him. I'm like, all right, if you want to sit here, all right, that's fine, but not this time. Anyway,
yeah,
sorry.
yeah. No, 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 it's cute. I like cats a lot. Yeah, Brushy says, show us. Show us the cat.
Oh yes. Well, oh, let's see. Oh,
Aww.
This is Zach.
He's completely black.
Yes, he is a black
So
cat. He's the
cute.
actually he's the first completely black cat I've had. I also have a calico, but she is outside right now.
Black cats have got like definitely got a specific type of energy. Like sass, pure sass. It's so cute.
He's very sweet. He's very soft. I took him to the vet one time and they were petting him and they were like, "Oh my gosh, he's like a little bunny." His fur was so soft.
How long have you had him?
He just turned 7 years old last month.
He's a big boy.
Yeah, actually, he's a little too big. The last time we were at the vet, she said he needs to lose a little weight, probably. He's he is not at the point where he's like diabetic or needs to be on prescription diet food or anything, um, but also that was in the winter, and they do tend to put on weight in the winter. So
Yeah.
I've given him different kinds of food, higher protein, lower carb food. So, and he has lost a little bit of weight, but he just he's an indoor cat, and they don't get he doesn't get as much exercise as my other one who goes outside, and she roams a lot. No, I'm not moving. Quit.
Hostile takeover.
He's like trying to. All right, here. All right, I'll just move up. He can go behind me. All right, there we go.
And is it every time you sit in the chair?
No, no, not every time. A lot of times, yes, because this is where I normally work and write and everything. And my both my cats, when they're inside, they like to be in whatever room I am in. So,
Yeah.
and he likes this chair. So anyway,
Do you
I
have a
kind of
job
we
outside of Substack?
I'm a freelance writer. I do content writing. And right now, I'm actually doing uh some kind of AI training.
Okay. Wow.
So
Ominous.
it's yeah, yeah. Well, it's basically working with large language models and just trying to get them to give better responses because sometimes what we call hallucinate, and
Yeah.
you ask them questions and they give answers that are like, no, that's not right. So it's kind of to help and improve that kind of thing. But
Cool.
so I don't know. Sometimes I'm a little leery about uh
Hope you've gone, I think. Think your internet's gone, Brandon.
no.
You,
Am
hello?
I still here?
Yeah, you're still here, but you're kind of,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
you're here.
Okay. I don't know what's going on with that.
Probably Wendy hacking you.
She's getting jealous. That's what it is.
I think Wendy's a secret genius.
I've kind of gotten that impression.
Yeah, yeah. She's lovely, but
Oh, yes.
yeah, but she scares me. Like she's the only woman that scares me. Like just wealth of knowledge, well of knowledge. I don't know what the saying is.
Right. Well, I think I've heard it both ways actually. So either way, you're fine.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna have to hop off the call because it's horrendously late now. Here, well, it's 11:30. It's not
Oh
that
yeah,
late, but
no problem.
it's been great.
Thank you. I really appreciate you coming on with me.
No, you're very welcome. Anytime, anytime that
I'm
I, I have a lust for lives, I'll let you know.
yeah, I'm glad you asked. I hadn't planned on going live today, but it was great. I think we had a great conversation.
Absolutely, 100%. Thank you for having me.
No problem.
Good
I'll see
night.
you
Have a
later.
good day. Good night. Bye bye.
Thanks. All right. Well, I think I started around 2:30. Oh yeah, it was 2:30, so we're reaching an hour altogether. So I probably will be logging off as well. Thank you for everyone that joined. If you are not part of my publication, if you're not following me, it's Brandon Elridge is so gay, and the voice you were hearing was Fusen Iden. If if you're not following her, you can go and subscribe to her publication as well. Um, I would really appreciate a subscription, free subscription. A paid one would be great too. I do this as part of my income, so I would really appreciate your support. Um, I can't think of anything else unless anyone has any questions or comments before we go. But we are nearing the top of the hour, so I'm fine with logging off. I appreciate everybody coming on. Have a good Friday. Have a good weekend. Auf Wiedersehen. Au revoir. Goodbye. Aloha. See you later.